Hello, welcome to Movie Mash, and if you're not following already, please do so and subscribe and all that good stuff. I mean, you are watching the videos, so please do. Come on, help me out. It ain't going to cost you nothing. Now, I'm not going to give a big old review like these other people. I used to do it, and I don't want to spend 10 minutes giving you backstories and this and that and all that before I get to the whole point. Right, so I just want to say is, look, this film is called Talk to Me, yeah? It's a new A24 movie made by a couple of YouTubers, so there's hope for us yet. And I'm hearing a lot of hype about this recently. And, well, let me tell you, the hype is real. It is really, really good. Now, before I just going to get into it all, I just want to give you a small backstory. I want you to watch it how I did blind, but for the sake of this review or thoughts, I'm just going to give you a small plot synopsis, you could say. All right, so there's a porcelain hand. I think it's a porcelain hand. A porcelain hand, and if you hold it and you say, look, talk to me, you'll see a spirit. And if you say to that spirit, I'll let you in, it takes over your body, but you cannot let it go over 90 seconds. If you do, you can imagine shit will happen. And you can imagine shit does happen. Now, I don't want to say too much more about the whole story because, you know, it feels like the story has been kind of done before. There's been stories like this before. But the tension and the horror or the tension and the creepiness of this was really done. This was what made this film. The story was good, but the point is that with the tension, and I will say the acting. Now, I don't know all this cast. I don't know. I've never seen it before, apart from the one lady who's the mom, and she was Erwin in Lord of the Rings. So she's the only person I know. The acting, this cast, I don't know, but they did a really good job, especially the lead female who's in. I don't know her name, but I'm not going to go into it too much of a review. I'm just giving you my thoughts. But it was really good. But what I'm saying is, you got tension, you got horror, you got gore, you've got all that, but they were all used in the right way. Like I say, horror sometimes can be overused for the sake of shock factor, but this was shocking, but it was utilized in the right way at the right time, so it was more effective, I feel. Now, I remember feeling after the first kind of shock part of the film, everything's going to go downhill after this because you're not going to be able to top what I just saw. And yet they do. It's not it's as good or even better and better and better. The plot and the pacing goes well good through the whole film. All the way through, the plot and the pacing was just great. I didn't feel bored. There was no real downtime. Even when there was, it wasn't just boring. It was, you know, a storyline. So yeah, all I'm saying to you is, if you haven't seen this film, go and see it. If you're a horror fan, go and see it. And the cast is great. The story is good. You've got horror was good. The tension was good. Everything was just good. I mean, I cannot rate this anymore. Now, normally I'm going to give it a hit or a miss. I'm going to give this a hit, a double hit. I highly recommend this movie. The hype was real. You know, when you go and you hear something is so good and you go and see it, it wasn't as good as you're hearing because there's too much hype. Or the other way around, you hear something so bad and it's like, it wasn't as bad. You know, the hype was real for this. Yes, it was. Now, I'm sure there's going to be people who don't like this, but I know the story's been done before. I know, kind of. And possession films, let's face it, the only good one has been The Exorcist. There's been a few, but the best one has been The Exorcist, and that's like 50 years ago or so, yeah? So this here is on par. I will put this on par with Hereditary, which A24 did too. This is really good. These two directors who made this, who are YouTubers, they seem to know what they're doing. I can't rate this anymore. But that's all I'm going to say. Put the comments in below if you like this or not. Put it in below if you've seen it and let me know what you thought. And put it in below if you're just not interested. But for now, and until next time,